Now, of course, we all know that in 2025, at some point, we will be getting Grand Theft Auto 6, and we also know what platforms the game will be arriving on when it does release. And in this video, we'll be going over what those platforms are, and the reasons behind why they're only releasing on those platforms at launch, then what we can expect from future platforms in the future of GTA 6. So we'll be covering everything sort of console and PC related with GTA 6 in this video. So let's get into it. So in terms of official news from Rockstar regarding the platforms it will be releasing on, we do know this. Grand Theft Auto 6 has the state of Leonida, home to the neon-soaked streets of Vice City and beyond, in the biggest, most immersive evolution of the Grand Theft Auto series yet, coming 2025 to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. So there we go. We know that at launch, at some point, hopefully in 2025, unless there is some sort of delay, we will be getting Grand Theft Auto 6 on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. But past that point, we won't be getting it on anything else. So it won't be on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but I feel like that was pretty obvious anyway. And it also won't be on PC at launch, which is disappointing, but that is following the pattern that Rockstar have always done with their games. They've always put the games out on consoles first, then they put it out on PC. Now, I'll go over the reason for this shortly. So, yeah, basically, if you have any sort of PlayStation 5 now, it's possible by the time that we get to 2025, we'll be getting close to PS5 Pro, and the same with the Xboxes. But obviously, there's no way of knowing that at all until it's confirmed. But you'd think that 2025, 2026 is when we could expect the Pro models of those consoles, since at the moment we've got the Xbox Series S, the black version, along with the standard version, and then the standard Series X. But it does look like they're working on an all-digital Series X, I believe, if I'm correct in some of the leaks that we've had previously. And then with PlayStation 5, of course, we have the standard one, and then we've also got the Slim, but of course, each of those both have their digital versions as well. Now, all of these will work with Grand Theft Auto 6, of course. Now, in terms of PlayStation 5, at the moment, every single PS5 is literally basically the exact same power. Obviously, just in some of them, you'd have to get GTA 6 digitally. And then when it comes to Xbox Series X, that is more powerful than the Series S. So if you do have a Series S, then I wouldn't be expecting more than 1080p, especially at 60 frames. I'd say that the most you get is 1440p 30 frames, but I think you're looking at about 1080p 30 FPS, to be honest. There might be a 60 FPS mode possibly, but I think 30 frames on the Series S is probably more likely, since at the moment it's not even guaranteed there'll be 60 frames on the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, but you never know, we could be really lucky, but who knows. Now, in terms of frame rate and their resolution on the PlayStation 5 and Series X, once again, very, very hard to predict, since all we have is a 1.5 minute trailer to go off for all of this. I do think that it's possible we'll get some sort of 1080p 60 frames mode, and then there'll be an actual graphics mode with ray tracing and everything like that, 4K, that's 30 frames per second, but it could all just be 30 frames per second. It's hard to know, but I feel like with GTA 6, with them not wanting to disappoint, they'll have to squeeze in some sort of 60 frames or something close in some way, because I feel like people would want that, and they don't want the game to be a disappointment, but at the same time, they might not. It's really hard to know. They might save that for the Pro versions of both the consoles. And yeah, obviously it's hard to know what resolution they'll play at, since, well, they're not even a thing yet, and we literally don't really know much about it for the standard consoles anyway. But yeah, I'd say keep your expectations in check for 60 frames and resolution, everything like that, particularly, of course, if you have a Series S. But at the end of the day, you will be getting GTA 6 on those consoles day one. So yeah, that's great. Now, let's talk about PC. So the reason the game isn't releasing on PC, there was actually, I saw a video of an old Rockstar dev talking about this, and basically it's because, I'll try and explain it simply from what I managed to gather from it, but the way to put it is, the consoles are going to be, in a way, a lot easier to optimize for, because there's, a very specific amount of consoles. You've got the Series S at the moment, you've got the Series X, then you've got the PlayStation 5. That's basically it. Now, obviously, you're only optimizing the game for 3 different platforms there. Whereas if you get it on PC, there's so many different configurations of different PC parts people can have, and it's way easier for the game to sort of break on the PC, since it's much more open. There are always more bugs on PC, whereas it tends to be also easier to fix them on a console. I believe I'm right there. So yeah, one of the main reasons is that they need more time to develop the game for PC, and by releasing it on consoles earlier, it gives them a chance to see some of the issues with bugs and performance and everything like that to make sure the game is perfect for PC, so they can then release it later for PC. Now, with GTA 5, I believe it was a pretty smooth launch with the game on PC. With Red Dead 2, there were quite a few issues when it launched on PC, so they might take a bit longer, since I believe with that game it was in 2019 and it released at the end of 2018. I think it was fairly early on in 2019 as well, so it wasn't that long between the console and PC release, so they might take a bit longer with GTA 6, since of course it didn't go well at the launch with Red Dead 2, but now it does run pretty well on PC for Red Dead 2. So yeah, that's the main reason the game isn't going to be on PC at launch, I assume. Maybe they have other reasons for it, because, you know, I'd expect them to, you know, if there wasn't an issue, they would release it on PC day one. But it is more of a challenge. So yeah, it will be on consoles at launch. I mean, I did sort of expect that, but I didn't know for sure, since obviously with Rockstar it's hard to predict, but that's what they've done previously, and they are continuing that with GTA 6. And then in terms of the old generation consoles, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, there's no chance the game would run on those consoles. I mean, GTA Online as it stands can barely run on those consoles, so any sort of GTA 6 I think is going to be very, very far-fetched. But yeah, it won't be on the older consoles, which I think in the long run is a good thing, since it'd be impossible for them to optimize it for those consoles. It wouldn't run well. They get a lot of complaints. The reviews for those consoles wouldn't be good. So yeah, I think it's a good thing in the long run. Obviously disappointing for those of you that still use those older consoles, but by 2025, the PlayStation 5 and especially a digital PlayStation 5 and a Series S, the original Series S, will be able to found at much cheaper prices than they are now, particularly if it looks on the used market. So bear in mind, you know, it's still, you know, about a year and a half away probably until we do get GTA 6 at least. So I wouldn't be too worried, since if you still have an older console, the prices will still go down of the newer ones, so there's still plenty of time to upgrade to one of those for GTA 6. But yeah, I mean, that does just about wrap up things here, really. This was a video going over the platforms that GTA 6 will be releasing on, which is the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X and S, and that's all versions of all of them. The digital PS5, the standard PS5, the slim PS5, the digital slim PS5. Then, of course, you've got the Series X, and then you've also got the 1TB Series S and the standard Series S. And then, of course, it will release on any future Series X or PlayStation 5 consoles that we do get, since, yeah, it looks like an all-digital Series X is probably on its way, and yeah, it will obviously release on that, and any sort of Pro models, it will definitely release on those, and you can expect, obviously, a higher resolution and possibly a higher frame rate on those consoles, depending on how well it runs on the standard versions of the current gen consoles. But yeah, that does just about wrap up things here. Now, let me know down in the comments if you've got one of the PlayStation 5s or one of the new Xbox Series consoles, and if you'll be able to play GTA 6 at launch. Or let me know if you're a PC player and you're pretty disappointed, of course, which you would be if you only have a PC, that the game isn't releasing on PC day one. But you'll get it one day. At least it is confirmed that GTA 6 is properly happening. And so we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. But yeah, that does just about wrap up things here for this video. On screen now, you are seeing a link to a different video. Hit the link on screen if you are interested in watching that. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.